Hey guys, welcome to Me versus My Brain. We made up. We're in the early stages of making up. Because let me tell you, I have been through hell these past 4 months and I'm learning to bring my spark back. So yeah. Today's episode is going to be about attachments, because I have learned a lot about attachments these past months, whether it's to do with cars, friends, relationships, all of that. I've been through it all. I'm starting to get a bit tired of it, to be honest, and I'm sure you guys are too. So yeah, but I want to share my knowledge because I want to document my life and look back and be like, I remember that and I made it. I thought I weren't going to make it. I still think I'm not going to make it, but I think attachments are very hard to navigate, and when it comes to friendships and relationships, you're putting all your trust into someone to not hurt you. Now, for me personally, I don't know if this goes for everyone or anyone, but for me, I choose to hand over my trust straight away, because I believe not everyone is the same, and I believe everyone deserves the same version of me, the same chances. So I just hand over my trust willy-nilly and hope to God they're not gonna shoot me where it hurts. I feel like you have to be very brave to do this, not gonna lie, because it can work out or it can backfire, which learning the backfire one very quickly. But do you know what? I'm not going to change that about myself, because I know people say trust is earned, but for me it's like, well, you can have my trust, but don't make me regret my decision. I don't know how to put it, guys. Here, have my trust. You can have my trust because you haven't done anything to show me you're a bad person. But as soon as you show me signs that you're a bad person or use it against me, the trust is broken and you can't come back from that. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe this episode should be more about trust and not attachments. Anyways, back to attachments. To be honest, I feel like trust and attachments go in hand together, because there are different types of attachments. I'm recently finding out through myself, if I actually truly like someone, then I've got an anxious attachment where I have to cling on no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much that person is showing these red flags. I have to cling on, and I get so scared of abandonment, of being abandoned. But if I'm not really into that person, or I have a sense that they're not for me, and we don't vibe on a deeper level, then I'm probably an avoidant, to be honest. I don't know if anyone can explain this, because to me, like, if I can't bond with you on the moment that I see you for the first time in person, I'm avoiding it. I don't want to do that. But if, like, I have that connection with someone, that spark, even if it's just a friendship, I'm clinging on to that. I'm such a... I'm like, I need that. And I would do anything to not lose that, because I have that fear of being abandoned. And let me tell you, these past 4 months, these people have been abandoning me. But do you know what? I'm coming to the realisation that if someone can abandon me, that's fine. They don't have to be in my life forever, and it's completely fine. It's gonna hurt, and I'll probably cling on to it more than I should. But there we go. But also, it's like the same with anything I do. Like at the moment, I've gone into my aerial hoop, and I'm clinging on to it. It's getting me through all these abandoned connections, and yeah. I'm not holding any grudges towards any of these people, because at the end of the day, they made my life spectacular at one point. I've just been grieving these past few months the connection that I thought we had, and do you know what? It's taken a toll on me, guys. It really, really is. And I'm not even going to blame my attachment style for that, although I probably should. But you know what? I'm just going to say I'm grieving. And I'm allowed to do that. And your grieving is allowed to look however you want it to look. Guys, it doesn't have to be crying in bed 24/7, not being able to eat, drink, sleep, whatever. I mean, granted, I did go through a little phase where I couldn't eat or drink or get out of bed, or I couldn't drive to work without crying. I've been through that. I've been through it all, guys. But your grieving can actually look like holding yourself together. It can look like going to work and just getting through the day. It can look ugly, it can look pretty, it can look however you want it to look, babes, because no one said grieving has to be a specific way. I'm kind of lost track on what I was saying. I always talk, and I always lose track of what I'm trying to get across. This is what I mean, like, me versus my brain, we've made up. I'm in the process of making up with it, because I do stuff like this. Anyways, go to part 2 for me to continue babbling on about attachments. Welcome to part 2 of me versus my brain. We made up while we're in the process of making up, guys. And it's to do with attachments and trust and grieving. There we go. So in the previous part, I went into detail about, well, I didn't really go into detail about, but I started going into detail about grieving and how I trust. Yeah. And we also discovered that for people that are meant for, well, connections that I see for lifeies, I get anxious attachments, whereas people that I don't really see anything with, I'm an avoidant. Whatever that means, I don't know. We're not going into that though. Yeah, we are. We probably will eventually. But yeah. So, attachments. Let's go into detail about my attachment, because, baby girl, do I have news for you. That's right. I'm looking at myself and I'm just going, we're talking about you. Okay, so my attachment. We're gonna do the anxious attachment first because I feel like a lot more people can relate to it a bit more. Do not go for an avoidant when you're an anxious attachment. The person that I've just dealt with on a romantic level, he is definitely an avoidant. He gave me all the signs. And because I am still healing, I'm not a secure attachment. He's an avoidant, I'm an anxious. I was doing this and he was doing this. Fortunately for me, he slipped out my hand. Now, we were only talking for 4 weeks, guys. And in those 4 weeks, and I'll say this to anyone I'm speaking to, or anyone that asks, I fall so hard and so easily and so fast. I am such an intense person. But I'm not ashamed of my intensity. I'm not. It's what makes me me. I just don't like it when people make me feel bad for my intensity. Like this dude who said I was too extreme. That's right, guys. I skipped the part of being too much. I've gone to the opposite spectrum and it's gone too extreme. Anyways, back to it. I like to show my the way I show my affection is through my intensity, because I just go with how I'm feeling. And I feel like people say they understand it, like when I'm talking to them, friends, family, whatever, and I tell them I feel too much, and sometimes it could be all at once and I get overwhelmed, but I feel too much, too deeply. They say they understand, but they don't. And I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm sad, I am borderline depressed. And I'm not actually depressed. I do not suffer with depression. But when I'm sad, I want it to end so bad that I will jump off a bridge. I will happily go do that if it means getting this feeling out. When I'm happy, it's euphoric. But I've noticed every time I feel that euphoric, something bad happens straight after, which will make me feel sadness. And when I'm angry, I will light the entire world on fire if I have to, because I get so angry. Now, I'm not a violent person. I will never be a violent person. That's not who I am. But the rage I feel, it's like fire. It feels like fire in my stomach and it's coming up and I need to get it out. And yeah, it's intense. So I can understand, like, from an avoidant, how that can be too much, too extreme. But he didn't even see any of that. The most he saw was me being happy and playful and clingy, which he said he wanted, by the way. He said clingy is how I like it in relationships. He said that. And now you got me over here looking fucked up. Anxious attachment girlies, run. Run away from that avoidant. Not worth your time. You need a secure one. That's what you need. But unfortunately, that's a bit hard to find, guys. Yeah. I know I've been babbling on for a while now, and it's actually annoying me because I'm trying to get a point across, and the point is just not coming. I don't even know what the point of this was. I just felt like I had to do a video about it, and here I am. Like, what weirdo. Right, anyway. I don't know where my attachment stems from. I really don't. And to be honest, we're not going to go and dive into my past right now because I do not need to add that onto what I'm going through right now. Yeah. Now, do I think me and that bloke could have sorted things out if we spoke? Probably not. Why do I say that? Because we could talk and talk and talk, but the actions would not align. I know that. He probably knows that. We have different goals in life. We have different careers in life. And with his career, I don't think it would allow him to give what I need and like to feel safe, and I don't think I could give him what he needed, which is space. I give him space like physically, but emotionally, mentally, all that jazz, and no, I could not, because I'm the type that wants to solve it there and then. I don't like feeling like I'm being given silent treatment, because that shit hurts. I should know. Anyways, come back for part 3. Welcome to part 3, me versus my brain. We made up. Well, we're currently making up. Yeah. So back to it. The previous one, I went into detail how I think me and this person wouldn't work out based on our attachment. And do you know what? I came to the conclusion that it's okay if someone comes into your life and they're not meant to stay. Wouldn't be able to make it work, because you learn from it. You learn what you want. You learn what you want and what you don't want. Now, because of that short relationship, I've learned more about myself. I've learned that I can get anxiously attached, that I need someone that can communicate, that has a job that will give me the communication that I need, that I don't like giving someone that space that they need. As selfish as it is, I'm allowed to be selfish, because this is what I want. It's my life, this is what I want. I'm allowed to be selfish. And if that doesn't align with me, that's okay. I'm just gonna have to grieve that connection and move on. Just like, yeah. But also from that connection, I learned that I do want someone that's kind and compassionate. I want someone that shows me off, that gives me affection. I like the attention from the person I'm seeing, you know? I like the fast moving pace of that connection, because it did move fast. I met his parents, and I like that. I don't like, I hate talking stages. And I know I know if I want to meet someone, I have to go for a talking stage, but I hate them. I hate them so much. Like, I'd prefer someone to just, on our first date, propose to me. But again, that's probably because I like the fast moving pace and I like the intensity of it. I like someone that matches my crazy energy. I like someone that's intense and deep like me, because I can be intense and deep. But also, I struggle opening up, and I struggle I struggle to talk about my feelings, which would be something that me and a person would bump heads with. I don't know how to communicate my needs sometimes, because I don't know what I need in the moment, which can get me into a lot of shit, not gonna lie, because when I feel overwhelmed, that's when I also turn into an avoidant. Basically, I'm a walking contradiction, guys. I almost said guys. Oh my god. So I'd also want someone that understands that and treads lightly. That leads. That's what I'd want. I want someone that can lead. Yeah. And I know someone is out there. Sorry, guys. I know someone is out there for me that ticks all these boxes. But basically, that's what I learned from the previous connection that I've been crying days over. And sometimes I wonder if he thinks about me and our connection, and I will never know. Or I will. And yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and be delusional, but like, if he came back, I wouldn't go back, because I probably would. I have to learn my lesson a few times. I don't want to. But sometimes I like the clarity on things. Even if it does hurt more. I learned the hard way. Not the right way. Don't pull at me. Like I said, these videos are more for the future me to look back on, so yeah. So moving on to friendships, because that one's interesting. I feel like for friendships, they help you learn more about yourself. I feel like they can see the darkest pits of you, and they still choose to love and adore you. And they guide you more, whereas in relationships they protect you. Yeah, I feel like friendships are more healing. And I generally had 2 people in my life that actually showed me that, and I will take that lesson with me throughout my life, because because I respected them, I still respect them as people, and if I ever see them out in public, I will never ever be horrible. They were a big part of my life and my healing journey. They walked away, and do you know what? Everyone you meet, they have the choice to stay or leave. And you have to respect that. If they leave, respect that. If they stay, respect it. Because I'm going to talk from my own experience. Leaving someone is not the easiest thing to do, to do. I know people sit here and they're like, oh, how can they leave when, like, how can they leave me? How can they sit there and hurt me and leave me and feel nothing? They feel something. They do. I mean, granted, some people don't. But if it's friendship, again, you've got to put what I'm about to say into how you view your friendships with that person. But for me personally, I feel like they did feel something. I don't think they're sat at home thinking, oh, she's such a bitch. I mean, they probably can. But people don't talk about you unless they're hurt about it. People don't talk about you unless they have something to say. And that's just a fact. Anyway, good part 4, I think. Welcome back to part 4. And we've moved on to the friendship side of things. Yay. As I was saying, was people who talk about you are feeling a type of way towards you because you either did or didn't do something that upset them or pissed them off, or however they're feeling towards you. And everyone is entitled to feel how they feel and have an opinion, even if it doesn't align with yours. That is completely fine. It is so fine. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean anyone in that situation is a bad person. It just means you do not align anymore. And that is okay. Now, do I think me and these people could have resolved things if we just spoke to each other about it? Most definitely. Do I think there was more into this situation that was there? Absolutely. Am I holding any grudges against him? No. Do I still respect them? Yes. Do I still care for them? Yes. I have the attachments to them. And that's because we built that friendship on trust, loyalty, kindness, compassion. That was my soul family. At least I thought it was. And when they left, they took a piece of me that I will never be able to get back. Because I loved them. I would have done anything for them. Yeah. They are the ones that actually showed me. They're the ones that actually showed me a different side to me that I forgot I had. They taught me how to heal in a different way than I used to. Before them, I was emotionally numb. I was dead to the world. I felt like a walking and talking zombie. And when they entered my world, it weren't so dark anymore. And it felt like I had a safe place to go. And it healed a little part of me. So, yeah. I haven't really said this out loud to anyone. I just kind of wanted to go back to being numb. But I've been grieving these friendships for 3 months now. And it still hurts every day. And I wish it would stop now. But I know healing, it's not just gonna stop the hurt, it will just eventually quieten down. And the memories and the grief will come in waves, but eventually it won't be as intense. And I know that. So at the moment, I'm just living in the grief, looking back at memories, and accepting their decision, no matter how much it hurts. Because people are allowed to leave, people are allowed to come. And as long as you take the lessons that they came into your life to teach, you're going to be okay. And them lessons will continue. Hopefully. And I'm hoping I fucking learned my lesson, because I swear to God, I can't do this every single time someone enters. I really can't. I think this hurts a lot more because as a little girl, I always wanted friendship and best friends, and I worked so hard to do that. And growing up, I was bullied by my friendship group, and I was always kind of like the lone wolf. I just went along life hoping to get through everything. And then they entered, and yeah. I thought they were true friends. But yeah. Basically, don't hold grudges. Let people leave. Let people enter. When one door shuts, another door opens. Learn the lessons so you don't keep repeating it. And grieve if you need to grieve.